Hi there, and welcome to the end of the week based on our weekly market update. And let's have a look at the S&P 500 in the weekly chart right here. So my verdict and conclusion after giving you guys the update a few days ago, or the beginning of the week, or even the middle of the week, is simply that depending on where the closing price is going to be at the end of the week, then we can see a better reference leg of where the price is going to go. Right at this point in time, what the S&P is telling me is that this is a minor correction based on the bullish candle right there 3 weeks ago. So my verdict would be on terms of forecasting the probability that the price will head up towards beyond 2801 is highly probable, and it will retest 2876.8. So, however, we cannot ignore this lower shadow right here, that they're going to retest this lower shadow before it can go to the upside. However, I am bullish medium term. Based on shorter term, though, notice if you guys have been, if you watch some secret tips when it comes to piercing patterns, here is a beautiful piercing pattern. You finish this like this definitely qualifies a really good piercing pattern, creating a higher low. So from higher low with a lower high right there, then the next one, the odds and probability to create a new higher high is highly probable since the higher low has hierarchy right at this point in time. Okay, so odds and probability to retest 27,902 shorter term and to go beyond, to go through this major area of supply is highly probable right there. So I'm bullish short term to medium term to retest 2801, and then based on the weekly time frame, I'm also very bullish medium term. So that's basically from the S&P 500 point of view. Based on the VIX, well, the VIX was strong, really good, especially yesterday. However, at the same time, back to area demand, I'm also still very bullish longer term with the VIX, and therefore this is where now you just have to be careful if you're a buyer. Okay, so if you're a long-term buyer, just be aware. So longer term, I'm very bullish. Shorter term, it's gonna hover around between the 12 to 14, even the 16 mark. So it's just be channeling within those 2 points. Daily time frame. There was a big spike from yesterday's because there was a lot of news what happened yesterday. So now it's giving it back away. Odds and probably head back to around the 12 point mark is highly probable too. All right, the Dow Jones is currently strong today, close to 8.1%. But based on the weekly time frame, shows a different story. The Dow is actually looking a little bit much more weaker than the S&P. So based on the weekly, I am bearish medium term unless it changes its viewpoint to create a bullish one right here. So from a higher high, higher lows, still lower highs, but doesn't look good based on that weekly candle right there based on the force of sellers. Short term though, I am bullish with the Dow. So the odds and probability to go to 25,300 to retest 25,400 is highly probable. Therefore, if that would happen, then on the weekly, a higher low will form, and we'll head back up around this segment, and then we'll see from there whether we create a lower high. But other than that, short term, I'm bullish, likewise with the S&P. All right, let's go through the dollar index. Dollar index is currently forming where there's a lot of selling pressure, creates some doji. I am bearish medium term with the dollar index. Short term, I'm also bearish. However, this has to create some form of a correction to create a lower high before it can fail to the downside. Alrighty, so medium term I'm bearish, shorter term bullish as a form of correction before it could fail. That really looks good. And of course, oil had a lot of news today based on OPEC meeting minutes, which is finally there were a lot of divergence with oil for the past few days. So that being said, if you followed basically from my report last time, I'm bullish with oil. Okay, so weekly, you can head back up towards the $72 a barrel, basically from there. So it needs a lower in order to actually fail. So higher low, either new higher high or lower high will happen. So this crude oil, Brent oil basically is the same. Correction continuation all the way on $80 a barrel. It's based on the weekly. Daily, also bullish, basically from there. Gold. Gold is still very bearish. However, in my opinion, it's going to stabilize itself from here on forwards. So medium term, I'm also bullish. Shorter term, I'm also bullish. Copper. Copper is also the same, stabilizing itself. I'm bullish with copper short term to medium term. Look at that, it's actually very bearish, but it's on the level of demand at this point in time. My own forecast that it's going to stabilize itself before it can continue to go further to the upside as a form of a correction as well. TYX stabilizing based on the daily time frame. I'm bearish to head back around 30, 29.8 or even 29.6. All right, so that's it for the macro fundamentals. Let's go through potential trades. Go through first the pound. The pound stabilized itself in the good area of demand. I am bullish with the pound. And here's a better reference legs, 35.88, 37.39.4. Daily time frame, same thing. Some form of stability will come back down to correct itself before it can continue. Still in the realm right there. Dollar yen. Looking at the weekly, talking about dark cloud covers. So that's also if you're listening to or you listen to my reports in the past. So you have a nice lower high. I am bearish with the dollar against the Japanese yen, medium term, even heading towards probably 105.40. Right there, they will retest these demand areas. Okay, daily time frame, also bearish, but since the price currently in the level of demand, once the idea of the beautiful strategy of it will come back up around 110.42 there, then sell once again. Okay, based on an M3, you have an entry point to go short. 4 hours already started, simply as a form of correction. 110.16, currently down around 20 pips. Okay, dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss, I'm also bearish for the dollar against Swiss franc. Better though if it comes back to correct itself around 99.50 and then short. Okay. So first time it's currently, there's no entry point. Entry point started here, June 99.17. So that's pretty good. Aussie against the US dollar. I am bullish with the Aussie against the US dollar. Looking very nice. Beautiful area of demand. So with that bearish candle there, though, just going to be aware of that. But however, in my opinion, it's good enough time to correct itself all the way up to around the 75 area. But here is a good area supply, 74, 75. Currently just filling the gap, so just be careful. Better strategy, correction before continuation. 4 hours started right through there, and it's still within the criteria. Currently a 60 pip profit right there. Dollar CAD. running out of steam. So likewise, I'm also bearish with the dollar against the Canadian dollar. Medium term, shorter term, also now bearish. Wait for the price to head back here, 33.57, 33.50, and then short it. Okay, so there is some room in order for that to drop at least about 100 pips. 4 hours, nothing as yet. Better for the price to head back here, since the price is already at the demand level. Kiwi against the US dollar. Kiwi against the US dollar is really nice. Weekly time frame, back to area of demand. Okay, this no longer exists. Let me remove all those. Area of demand, odds and probabilities in form of a reversal is highly probable. Medium term, daily time frame, looking very bullish from this area of demand. So there is a method 2 entry point. Better if the price will come back down just a little bit, say 68, 90, and then go long. It's already too late. Based on an M3, we have an entry point right there, currently up 50 at 17 pips, and nothing for the daily time frame. Last but not the least, let's go to Euro against the US dollar. Likewise, I am bullish too with the Euro. However, since they created a lower low, better reference like if the price will come back down a little bit actually. So if it corrects itself in a shorter term time frame and back to around say 16, 1.16, that would be great. So nothing for the daily, 4 hours. We had an entry point right there that we all stated basically in class. So, a few days ago, currently up 60 out 50 to 60 pips. Okay, so there's more room for that to happen. 1679 is the next target point. So T1 is already taken, T2 is fast approaching, and then correction to the downside. All right, so that's pretty neat. That's it for me in terms of potential trades. Hope you got something out of that. Take care until next time, guys. Have a great weekend. Happy trading.